All right, let's just forget about stuffy conference rooms and those endless PowerPoint promises for a minute. Today, we're actually heading out into the field to get our hands dirty and look at a whole new way of thinking about farming. And it's all centered around one amazing fruit, the Valley Gold Mandarin. Let's dive in and see what all the fuss is about.
So think about it. How do you usually introduce a new crop? Well, you could do it the old way, right? You get stuck in some stuffy room looking at slide after slide filled with easy promises. Or you could do it the Valley Gold way. See, on January 17th, growers weren't invited to a presentation. They were invited straight into an orchard to taste the real fruit and talk about hard numbers. And that, right there, is a fundamental shift in how agricultural innovation gets shared.
And that's exactly what this day was all about. It brought growers from all over Italy, we're talking Basilicata, Puglia, Campania, you name it, not into a lecture hall, but directly into the orchards. This was a completely hands-on, boots-on-the-ground visit to see the plants, to really evaluate the fruit, and to talk about the real-world challenges and, of course, the opportunity.
Now, this wasn't just some casual field trip, not at all. The whole thing was coordinated by agronomist Vito Vitelli, who's the main technical guy for this variety in Italy, and he did it in partnership with Citricom IP. That's the company that actually holds the rights. So yeah, this was a serious, expert-led look at a brand new agricultural product.
Okay, so we've kind of set the scene, right? Now, let's meet the star of the show, the Valley Gold Mandarin itself. What is this thing, and why are so many people paying such close attention?
So, at its core, the Valley Gold is a late-season, seedless hybrid. And trust me, every one of those words matters. Late season means it actually extends the selling window, right when all the other high-quality clementines are starting to disappear from the shelves. Seedless, well, that's a huge win for anybody who eats it. And it's a hybrid that's been specifically designed for those really picky, high-quality markets.
Let's dig a little deeper into what makes this mandarin stand out. As you can see, it really hits all the right notes. Late ripening for that longer selling season, and just top-notch quality in taste and texture. But look at that point about being seedless. It says Aporinea. That's the technical term, and it basically means it's genetically and consistently seedless, which is a massive commercial advantage. And for the farmers, the fact that it holds well on the plant, that means they've got more flexibility when it comes time to harvest. That's huge.
All right, so the theory is great, but what really matters are the results, right? So let's head back to the orchard and see how this all plays out in the real world. We're going to look at some data from one of the test sites in Puglia that the growers actually visited.
First up, let's talk about density. They deliberately planted just 650 plants per hectare. Now, this isn't about trying to cram in as many trees as possible. No, this is a strategic choice. It's about giving each plant the space it needs to produce super high-quality fruit, not just a high quantity. It's all about focusing on value.
And you know what? This quality-first approach seems to be paying off, and fast. What's really impressive here is the age of these plants. They're only 4 years old. At such an early stage, they're already showing a really consistent increase in production. That tells you this variety gets up and running quickly and reliably.
Now, when you have a promising product like this, the temptation is to just go big, go fast. But they're doing the complete opposite. Their strategy is careful and gradual. They're starting with limited amounts in regional markets, getting direct feedback from wholesalers and retailers, and just patiently building the product's reputation from the ground up. It's smart, it's sustainable growth.
But let's be real, farming is never that simple. It's not just about growing a fantastic fruit. You have to know when to pick it at the perfect time. And as this year showed everyone, that is a really complex balancing act, especially when you're dealing with weather you just can't predict.
So, this is the million-dollar question. When, exactly, is that perfect moment to harvest? It sounds like such a simple question, but the answer, well, it's anything but.
This past winter, the area got hit with a ton of humidity and fog. Now, the Valley Gold handled the rain just fine, but that persistent dampness in the air caused the skin of the fruit to lose a little bit of its tension. The inside was still absolutely perfect, but that external factor, that could affect its shelf life and its commercial value down the line.
So what this really shows us is that the harvest date isn't just some fixed point on a calendar. It's a dynamic, high-stakes juggling act. Growers have to become experts at balancing these three competing factors. You've got the physical state of the fruit itself, the totally unpredictable weather forecast, and the constantly shifting demands in the market. I mean, it's a real testament to the skill that's required in modern farming, where getting this one decision right is absolutely crucial for your bottom line.
So, after seeing the fields, tasting the fruit, and grappling with all these real-world challenges, what's the final word from the experts? Is this thing some kind of miracle fruit, or is it something else entirely?
I think this quote from agronomist Vito Vitelli just says it all.
Bring people to the field, let them see the plants, taste the fruit. That's how you build sensible investments. The rest is just noise. I mean, that's the core philosophy right there. Reality over hype and direct experience over empty promises.
And that leads us to a really clear verdict. The Valley Gold is not a miracle solution. It is, however, a very valid technical tool for a modern grower. But, and this is a big but, it's a tool that demands expertise. It requires rigorous hands-on management, and the initial design and planning of the orchard are absolutely critical. Any mistake you make early on will have consequences for years to come. But for those growers willing to put in the work, it represents a very, very real opportunity.
So, this kind of brings us full circle, back to where we started. The story of this one mandarin might just be a sign of a much bigger shift happening in agriculture. Maybe the future of farming will be defined less by presentations and promises, and more by just getting out into the field, getting your hands dirty, and focusing on reality over all the noise. What do you think?